liked everything we did. It was like the perfect hang. It was like good buddy, great place, learning and diving in. I want to actually do. I'm sure we're going to talk about that today, dude. Let's crank it out. Let's get together soon and play that.
Oh yeah, I've got. I still have to clip more stuff off the sprue there, but
dude, you're already ahead of me. My guys are still in the box, so unclipped, unprimed.
I have found that priming them before clipping is probably the way to go with those guys.
That's probably the way to go.
I've heard painting them prior to gluing them to the base can be.
I feel like with 10 mil, you have to do that.
Oh yeah. But speaking of a good start, you're here listening to Deadzone the podcast.
Woo!
I'm Bryan.
And I'm Scott.
Welcome to the Deadzone podcast. Deadzone is the sci-fi tabletop.
Yeah, as we were chatting at the top of the show, Scott and I actually got together this last month.
We did it,
which is a long time coming.
Way too much. Life is way too crazy.
Oh yeah. That was the thing. Kind of coming up at the end of last month. I know we skipped a month in this case. We'll see if we do like a double month episode sometime so I can get the numbers back on track, because it was really
we can do it.
Nice to be able to do the math.
Yeah. Let's make time for it, man. We're literally in the same boat. It's like, dude, there's not enough gaming, and we can make it work. We just have to put a little effort, and we did it. And so I'm sure we can do that with the podcast too.
Oh yeah, and just kind of recognize. I think there's another podcast that I saw happened around the same time actually. The other hosts that like, hey, like just kind of need that to take that little breather. Need to regather, recharge. Because man, April was a crazy month. And,
I feel like for everybody, to be honest,
May has just been about as busy, really.
Yeah. It's not as busy in a way. Like April was definitely crazier for me, but it was like everything, work, family, like it was everything. Now it's just life. But I can actually, make some gaming happen, and we did it, man. We did it.
Yeah,
it was an achievement, man.
and just kind of like taking that step back, getting a little time to plan out some hobby, plan out some games, get together with folks, and I've mentioned before in the past, especially now that I've got a little one running around, like I sometimes fall back into my old hermit ways where which is a funny segue to talk about, where it's like, ultimately Deadzone is one of those games that got me out of my hermit phase back when I first got into it with Rick. So
nice.
Yeah. So gaming is the way to go on that. But just that little PSA at the beginning of the episode, make sure to take care of your mental health. It goes a long way, and it helps you, get back to the things you love. Sometimes it's just
even if the things you love are little toys, little inch-tall toys that simulate battles. Fantastic.
Exactly. So why don't we let's not bury the lead any further. We were able to get together and get some gaming in. Scott, what game did we play?
We played Epic Warpath, a 10mm fantasy war or science fiction war game.
Fantasy to some.
Yeah. Fantasy, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, Scott and I, we were able to get together at Upkeep Games in the Canton area in Michigan. A really excellent store.
Upkeep
been to a number of their branches. I remember when that store started in Howell.
Yeah,
like during COVID, and it was always unfortunate timing because they were closed for like a remodel while I was living in Howell, and then I left Howell and they reopened.
Just how it is. Just how it is.
They have set up an excellent set of gaming stores, and the one in Canton is no exception. It was a really, really great gaming area, really great collection of board games and war games and stuff. So,
just being in Metro Detroit, there are, I know Howell's a little beyond that, but there is so many good companies. I feel like there's a shift happening right now where like they're consolidating, some are closing for different various reasons. Not exactly like bad business, just like they're done. But the ones that are like making it through, man, they are exceptional. And like the gaming areas are super clean, huge spaces decked out. It's not just like thrown together. It's like cultivated. And I mean, dude, every time I'm there, the foot traffic's like nuts. So if you're ever in Metro Detroit, I mean, like there's definitely a lot of gaming history here too. So like, just check out the stores. They're sweet. And kudos to Upkeep. I feel like they're killing it. They're crushing it, and they deserve it.
Oh yeah. And so we managed to snag a table for the day, and so I had picked up my copy finally of Epic Warpath after sitting on it for a while, and managed to clip out a couple of minis, and so we threw down, I think it was close to 1,000 points.
Yeah. Well, we had a kerfuffle about what kind of armies to bring, and then we didn't bring enough, and then it was like, oh, well, let's just play. So we made the same army. Yeah,
we had a mirror match for enforcers, right around 1,000 points, which equals to, was it one battalion? Is that?
I don't know how it's all organized, but I know we had one captain, we had a group of operatives, a group of assault enforcers. Panther grav tanks, and I think just jet bikes. I think that's all we ran. I'm looking at it right now based on what I remember.
Yeah, it was so it was basically one company's worth of guys. So a captain, 2 troops, 2 specialists, and 1 support, which most games range in more of that 1,500 to 2,000 point range. I think is where people are really enjoying. You can field a lot.
Honestly, I thought if we tripled what we had, the game would run smooth. So if you're saying 3,000 point games, I mean, like, I feel like you could comfortably run that without like burning yourself out with painting and stuff.
Yeah, so like I think ultimately was this 6, 12, 18, 24. So it's like 28 models, or I should say 28 units. Bases is I think the language that I use. It's like 6.
Yeah, units are the cohesive bases.
Units are kind of the collective, and then that collective is made up of bases.
Yeah.
And then sense. On those bases will be between 2 to 4 tiny dudes. So we just clipped out a couple right then and there, and really like all I kind of prepared going in, just again because life has been busy and I only just got the rule book. Like, I knew a key element of it was the placing of command tokens, so like that you kind of secretly determine what each unit is going to do, whether it's a advance, a sprint, or overwatch. And we won't do the full rule summary, especially since I neglected to grab the book myself. But
it's straightforward, though. Like, to your point, like, we don't have to deep dive. Like, it kind of that already tells you how it's organized. Mm-hmm. But the nuance, like, it doesn't do it. Like, the nuance that comes out of it, you like kind of learn, like, oh, I need to stage my guys better. Like, it's kind of neat. I thought it was kind of ingenious, to be honest. Like the way that it like panned out.
No, it ran super smoothly.
We only had one hiccup. We were only confused about one thing. Everything else was clean.
Yeah, and the confusion was really kind of caused by like not
off.
conflicting, but like a semi-contradictory diagram, like flow chart on one page, and then like the rules as written text in paragraph form on the next one.
Only because we didn't know all the rules. So like if you sit down and know what all the references that are being made in that rule, I don't think it would have been confusing, because then we're like, oh, that's how vehicles work. Okay, so that's why it says that, because it's assuming that you know.
Yeah, you know it all comes down, like that point of confusion just was around like the
learning the game,
the close combat, like
vehicle close combat,
win loss, like against vehicles, and there's little like clauses in the rules that make exceptions here and there, but it was just like we just needed to read through it a couple times and kind of walk through what an example would be. And it totally made sense. It flowed really well. We wound up getting, I think, round up getting like 3 rounds in, and had to call it for time.
Well, it's only because we were like catching up,
playing like for like 3 hours.
yeah, but like it's not because of the game. Like we were catching up, chatting for like 45 minutes, and then we were just dinking around, like kind of like, okay, well, what do you think? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, okay, so this is how the breakdown is, and then we probably actually only did 1 real round, to be honest. Like actually playing, you know what I mean? That's the way I felt.
Yeah. We took our time, you might say. We did dilly dally, but
that's the best way to learn the game. That's literally the best way. Like it's not, no one needs to like try to win when you're learning the game.
Oh yeah.
Although I was trying to win 100%.
Well, as Scott, I don't know if you'll point out that one of the things I like to do, just because I'm random sometimes, is like, I'm just gonna randomly pick what hidden orders I'm giving the guys. So when I flipped over my command unit each time, and he had Overwatch, which means he stands still and shoots at something.
You're like, I'm just going for it
from the starting point with his little 9 or 12-inch gun. So it's like never had any targets his way, but no, it was really fun. The games flowed really smoothly. It really is a clean rule set, and you look at it too. You look at the rule book, and the amount of book that rules cover is rather small. You know, it's probably 2/3 army lists.
I wouldn't even say 2/3. I would say less.
And pictures, like some nice big pictures.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the books like decked out, to be honest. Like from Mantic standards, I feel like they've like really invested in like their artists. Maybe they've had those assets for a long time, but like they used them right. It's kind of legit.
Oh yeah, especially the artwork showcasing like the new super heavy stuff and everything. Like you've got these giant 2-page spread kind of thing of giant robots fighting giant monsters.
I mean, we're talking like Games Workshop level, like artistry, where it's like, okay, no, they like invested in an artist to make this stuff. Like that's cool. Like old school D&D, like art, like it's just legit. Like even just now when I was flipping through, like reading off those units, I looked at like some Asterian warrior and I was like, that's sick. Like that's legit. It's really cool. They're eye catching.
Yeah. So yeah, man, Epic Warpath is a lot of fun to play. There is that part of me that's like, comes with a lot of minis. Like I just looking at that 2-player starter set.
But it's not that bad.
So
like
many minis.
But like there is like it's like technically, there's a lot of quantity, but they're so small. I mean, it's actually like if I take this quick. Like here's one 28 mil guy. That's more surface area than all those minis. You know what I mean? Like like you making one base in that game is only like a smidgen of it's like a dime of plastic. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I part of it is I just paint slow.
So do I.
But even I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, I primed them white. All I'm really planning to do is probably do like a wash on them.
Some gray, make a gray
with a little gray, a little bit of touch, and then a little splash of color. I'm planning to continue on my paint scheme from Deadzone and Firefight team, which was the clone troopers kind of aesthetic. So they are mostly white and then like a little splash of color on their helmets. So it keeps it nice and simple for me. But no, and the quality that you get in these tiny guys, like the amount of detail,
astronomical amount of detail.
So, and then I've got to print up a whole mess of other goodies, because I've got like the STLs for the Striders now, and some of the other main packs that they made available off of my mini factory, and stuff I've gotten through the vault all this time. So no, I'm excited. Like I'm not used to playing a game at that scale, and so
neither am I. And I've always wanted to. Like, I've always wanted to do that scale. I feel like this is finally the game. Like, I have some old like Pendragon stuff that's just like cool, like, but it's like no one's gonna play that with me. I feel like this is really my first time doing 10 mil stuff. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked out Warpath yet, it's definitely worth your time, especially if you are a fan of the Warpath universe at large. It's a, if nothing else, maybe just pick up a digital copy of the book, because there's all sorts of new lore goodies in there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They each kind of core rule book, they always do like a bit of background, and then if you track it, because I've insane and I've done this, is like gone through each book, and like even like from Firefight 2nd edition to the like compiled the protocols book that they issued out, which were kind of brought them both back together. Like, there's new stories captured in between those books.
Wonderful.
The little short story stuff. So if nothing else, I enjoy it for the lore. But I think it'll be fun.
That's why you know all this lore, man. I'm like, where'd you get this lore? That explains everything. You've revealed too much.
Were you able to get any other gaming in this?
I was able to. I do a lot of tabletop simulator with my family. My brothers and my dad all do that. If we could play in person, that'd be great, but sometimes it's just easier doing that. Yeah. We actually played Talisman last night. I don't know if you ever played that.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Old 80s game made by Games Workshop, but it like different companies bought it. And we played the Fantasy Flight version of it, and it was just awesome. It's just a goofy, dumb game. It's a party game for nerds.
Nice. I know I actually managed to get in a game of Halo Flashpoint as well.
Nice.
One of the projects that I actually completed between our last recording and this one was I did finish painting up all my ODST guys.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun. Took me a bit longer than I anticipated, but that was kind of just because of like the amount of detail that is on those minis. And I won't lie, I really hemmed and hawed on paint schemes for stuff for quite a while. It's kind of tough to find one that I like, but I ultimately went with a pretty dark scheme. So like a kind of a nighttime ODST theme. So dark grays with little splashes of color. I kind of did each team in with a red and a blue kind of designation on them, as well as little splashes of color on their helmets to designate different ranks and such. But and then I managed to get a game in with a buddy down at Excel Hobbies or Excel RC Gaming, and that was fun. He brought Atriox with two other brutes, and so it really was the small like elite strong versus the many weak.
Nice.
There was at least a couple of rounds where it was a guy, one of my ODSTs would spawn and he'd get lanced by this dude and just drop dead. He would spawn back, get lanced by the same guy.
That's just how it works. That's just how it works.
Yeah, and they play so different than the Spartans. If nothing else, for the speed element, they're 1-2 for their movement, whereas the Spartans, a lot of them are 2-3s. So like when they respawn onto the board, it's just an advance. Spartans can move and then get a little further. These guys move on 1 cube, and then they're just
and then it's over.
But we wound up playing Capture the Flag, which actually worked in my favor because I had the action economy on my side. I could just have more of my guys go and cause a little bit more chaos than the brutes had at their disposal. So it was a fun, close game, though. I managed to snag the flag after, I think, 4 rounds. So we were right up, I think, near the end. Another one where we kind of called it for time, just because it was getting to be after hours at the store. But no, it was fun. I don't get to play Halo Flashpoint as often, but I do think it is a game that can really grow a gaming community.
Yeah, I feel like it has. I feel like it took over the world, quickly.
Yeah, and with all the stuff coming out for Noble Team and the big battle stuff, like I am pretty geeked for the future of Halo Flashpoint. I think it's going to continue to grow in a really, really fantastic way. And so that's another one that I'm going to try to kind of make that concerted effort of like, hey, I'm going to get some demos going. I'm just going to start showing up as regularly as I can. My goal is once a month. I want to get out and game for an evening.
Well, count me in for that, man.
Yeah. And kind of get some of our band back together. We've had some ebbs and flows in our player group, and some moved on to other games. Some are still willing to try out some of the Mantic stuff. So it's just kind of that consistent play. It goes a long way, and especially when you do it at a store.
No, most definitely.
And I know some of our buddies, Corey Booms and his crowd, I know they played Epic Warpath at Adepticon and really enjoyed it. So maybe that's a game we can get those guys out of their basement to come and hang out at a game store with us.
No, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. So in other news, one thing that maybe I don't know if I'd say a controversial section of the show. This is a bit more newsworthy, but from a puzzling standpoint, and this isn't breaking news at the time of the recording, but it's still pretty new and things seem to be in flux. Is the Michigan GT?
Yeah. Why do I feel like we covered this? But yeah, I guess this is the first time.
Yeah, I think since the last time we talked about it, I think there's been some updates
changes
that are worth noting. Is that so those that haven't heard is that the Michigan GT in the last couple of years had come under new management, and at the end of this last one, there was a bit of a change in the guard. But we also saw that the social media sites and presence and website for the Michigan GT had all kind of been shut down, kind of out of the blue, seemingly, at least for the outside.
Yeah, totally abruptly, for sure.
And there had been a post on the Michigan GT website that hinted at a potential rebranding of kind of this Michigan Gaming Expo was what was presented there. But now even that website has gone dark. And I've searched around a little bit. I haven't found any more news about this Michigan Gaming Expo potentially being, standing up and happening. in the future, which really is unfortunate. The Adepticon and the Michigan GT were kind of like my two gaming events that I would go to, like that were large, and especially the Michigan GT for Mantic stuff. Like that was actually a really large event for Kings of War, for Halo Flashpoint. Had a really great turnout last year, and even Firefight like did really well. And so it's kind of, it is sad to see, like, you know, it seems like the event might be kind of done for good, but you know, we'll obviously keep people posted, and as things kind of turn around, I do hope something fills that space. I've actually even been talking with some folks of like, is it worth before the Michigan Mantic group had become involved in the Michigan GT, we had set up kind of our own little Mantic Day that happened relatively close then. This is apocryphal. This is back in the early days of Bryan as a Pathfinder. And and you know, this is when I lived in Lansing, and it was even before the Michigan GT was at the big convention center that it went to. There's the possibility that, you know, maybe we're able to work something out with a game store that's centralized for the Michigan folks. You know, obviously there's some great places in Lansing. There's some really great places in the southeast side of Michigan. There's some great places kind of more north in like the Mount Pleasant area. There's a lot of great gaming groups. There's even a bunch of folks down in the Ohio area that often are running big events, and I know a few folks there that have expressed interest in doing like shared events and to extend the reach, if you will. So yeah, it's sad to see the Michigan GT go, if that is the way it really, if nothing else, it's really looking like it's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, did they announce that it's like done, or is it just like delayed, or like or nothing?
It really has been radio silence, and I haven't been able to find any official posting beyond that original site that was up. But like I said, like the social media sites, like they just shut them all down rather than kind of. I was admittedly surprised. I was kind of expecting with that rebrand to leverage that existing.
It doesn't mean it's gone. It's just turned off, right? I mean, they could always turn things back on, couldn't they?
They could turn things back on, and I admit that, you know, there could be other factors behind the scenes. Yeah,
who knows? I mean, it does seem weird to like do that though. But maybe because now we're all talking about it, maybe that's why. And now they'll turn it on, and it's like, oh, sweet, fake drama.
Yeah, they were just waiting for the Deadzone, the podcast guys, to break the news. Yeah. That's the only reason. I do absolutely hope it comes back. I really love the folks that ran the event. They were a great group of friends that I've come to know over the years. Obviously, like between the two of us, like that was where we first met, was the Michigan GT.
Oh yeah, humble beginnings, man. Humble
beginnings. And so it's definitely a big bookmark or milestone in the history here, and I hope that something brings that kind of scale of event back, especially to that time of year, which is like the end of October, or thereabouts. It was always kind of hovering around like September, October.
Yeah, it changed. It changed a couple times.
And that's always, you know, a potential factor too, is that if you're competing against other events, it's an uphill battle, kind of no matter which way you go.
Yeah,
to get an event off the ground like that again. But I hope they manage to pull it off. We're gonna keep on the lookout for that event to maybe make its way back. If not,
another event. We're ready for you.
Maybe we are involved in getting something going, because
no, but they stopped. we got something quick put together, like Kings of War guys. This was like a few years ago. It's like 2021 or something like that. But we got a whole deal together. And so I know that like if another event's around, there's people looking for events. So like do more advertising, put your name out there. Like people will come.
There is a very large Mantic presence in the Midwest, and there's a lot of great like synergy and ways that folks could be able to connect and get together. You know, we regularly had friends come from Wisconsin to come play. Ironically, I'm going back to Wisconsin this weekend. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. If our viewers or listeners know of events that are happening that you'd like a little extra bump, send them our way. Like post on our Facebook page. I still monitor the Discord, though I'm not very active in it. We do have a Twitter and I think Blue Sky. Got some social media presence, so feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you have events going on, stuff that you want to get kicked off the ground, or are just looking to build that community. You know, let us know, and we can definitely give a signal boost. We're always happy to do so. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we'll move on to the hobby table section of the show.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. Not so bad.
Not so bad. The hobby table section of the show is, of course, brought to you by Corvus Games Terrain, proud sponsor of Deadzone, the podcast, for quite a while now. And I do want to shout out Corvus is working on a new project that's going to be going to Kickstarter in the very near future here, which is the Paint Pal Studio XP, which is for those that are unfamiliar, the Paint Pal Studio series is a collection of like paint trays and stuff that are really customizable and scalable, that you can print off and set up. I had originally redone my painting area with the original Paint Pal Studio set, and it was really great. Like it has, all different kinds of stands for whether they be like the GW pots or the Army Painter, which is kind of my mainstay. Even nice big ones for like Apple Barn paints and oil paints and stuff like that. Like everything under the sun, he did STLs for, and made it really scalable as well. And you can mount it on walls. It can have risers and stuff in the back to have little drawers. Really, really cool. And so this is a revamp of that series. And he did actually send me some sample files to tinker around with, and I printed off just a starting set of I think it's 5. Yeah, it's 5 rows, and I did the set that was like 6 pots, and so it's, what is that, 5 times 6? So like 30 pots in one go. Nice. And I gotta say, this new line that he did, the old one used the kind of classic open lock series. So if you're not familiar, it's just these little plastic hooks that wedge in between two slots that are designed. They're really easy to print, and it's open lock is a very wide ranging system that people use. And the old one was kind of exclusively that. This one still uses them in specific places, but the trays themselves slot in with their own kind of just custom slot down. And already I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is so much more stable than the open lock one that I had before, which sits next to my printer, which can rock the table when it gets really energetic. So I can already tell that this is going to be, I'm going to be replacing my my paint setup with this new line because
it sounds innovative.
It's really cool. So all that to say, I've got that printing project.
Yeah, I was saying you got some hobby in there, man.
Yeah. But I will also say I have been taking a little pause on my sci-fi stuff, which I know is kind of it's against the rules on the podcast. But I have been building out my Kings of War Champions set. And part of that is me exploring doing the multi-basing and doing magnets on those movement trays. Because the thing for me with Kings of War had always been, and the multi-basing in particular, how do I transport this stuff safely? And so I'm experimenting a bit with some different kind of tape-on magnet pieces to the bottom. Going to see if I can get some sheet trays to be the metal liner of some kind of carrying case. But that's kind of where I started. And then, kind of doing that, painting a lot of minis, and people are looking at me like, Bryan, the champion set is just like 3 units per side. Like that's not a lot of minis. It's a lot of minis, guys.
Yeah. That's like
2 of those are 10 models each. So that's 20 guys on one side, and then you do another one on the other side.
40 dudes, man. Yeah.
It's a lot of guys. When my sweet spot's kind of like doing 6 models at a time.
Yeah.
But they're coming together. I did manage to get kind of the base and the dry brushing to kind of do a little bit of a slap chop job on them. I was originally going to try a purple speed paint over that, but I think I didn't have a light enough shade on my Forces of the Abyss. So like the purple just like really muted things. It didn't really rise to the surface like I was hoping. So I'm probably gonna stick with the red, the classic red for Forces of the Abyss.
I mean, classic red. I mean, go for it, dude. That's the way.
But I am still thinking I might do a red scheme for my Basilean force, which is going to be means red versus red. But hey,
it's all right.
It's all right.
I'm sure someone's done that somewhere in real life, So
yeah. But yeah, so that project's still on the table, still working through it. But I am trying to make that a bit more of a concerted effort of like, okay, like got some free time, gonna sit down, we're gonna put a show on, we're gonna paint up these minis. And then I do think my next project is gonna be, I'm gonna get my Marauders.
Nice.
Running again. So
nice.
Got some sci-fi coming up.
Oh yeah. Well, you got a full plate, man, for sure.
Oh yeah. But what have you had anything you've been working on?
Scott? Oh yeah. I got 2 armies sitting right next to me. Actually, I'm looking at my game Battlecry. I put out the Ogre supplement for it, which really just made the game like version 1.5. And it's kind of exploded. People really like it. People keep wanting to meet up and play. So I need to paint some demo like armies for it. So I got my buddy Nathan gifted me this big toad. So that's my salamander general, big old toad. I'm using a mantic juggernaut for the dwarf leader. And then I'm looking at them right here. I got 50 guys. I got a bunch of salamanders, mantic salamanders that I'm using. I got this 3D printed salamander for the shaman, and I got a ton of dwarves that I'm using. And so, yeah, I want to paint it all up, just one step at a time. But the issue is Warpath is what I want to paint now. So I have to paint that. Yeah. So I'm planning on building that. And then now that it's actually to our listeners, it's been so cold in Metro Detroit, Southeast Michigan, the whole year. It's been like, it hasn't cracked like 60 degrees, I feel like, except today and maybe like a random day here and there.
We've had like maybe a full week or two's worth of like hot days above 60 for like several months. Like you know, it's has consistently been really cold out, really wet out.
Yeah.
So
it's been a very cold year, like exceptionally cold. And I'm trying to prime, man. So I'm like, yo, like warm up. Like what the heck? Like it just cracked past like the threshold today, but I've been busy. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get this all together. I'll have to get some white primer and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I even there was a day where it was like, all right, it's like really warm out, but there's a storm that's going to be coming in like an hour, and I'm like, I'm just running out there real quick. That's when I primed my Warpath stuff. Is I threw a plastic bag over my hand. I just held up.
Yeah, I do that too.
Waited quick. Grab
the old glove. Yeah, that's funny. That's
on the plus side, it's really quick to prime those.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what I'm gonna do, I got some store credit upkeep, so I might just go get some white primer because I think I'm out. Yeah, just hit my Marauders, my Warpath Marauders up, because I got a pretty slick orc scheme that I put together for 40K, and I just have some old 40K orcs that sometimes I feel like painting because they're awesome. But like I'd rather paint Marauders, so like I can use that scheme, and I think it'll look really good.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, man, legit.
Out of curiosity, because this is one thing I like about our hobby section, and it doesn't always happen, but I always like to actually like talk shop and craft around it. Do you find so I use like Rust-Oleum, rattle can, bought off the shelf at Meijer/Walmart, you know, like any kind of store will have this kind of paint. Do you find, were you going to get like some official like priming paints from, you said from
yeah, I mean I've used the Rust-Oleum stuff, but man, I just like
do you notice a difference, I guess is what I was kind
of I do.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, if you stick to like Vallejo like painter, like 4 miniatures, I think it will work a lot better for you than the Rust-Oleum. But the Rust-Oleum's not gonna ruin your minis if you just get the right kind. I do think the best primer on the market is the Games Workshop stuff, to be honest, but it is a little more expensive by like $3, $4, maybe even $5. It's still your best bang for your buck. I'll tell you what, there was one brand that was a hobby brand that was just evil. It was terrible. It was called Armory or something like that. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but it was like pray before you spray, because like there was a 50% chance that you're going to ruin your model. Like it was terrible. Like, so then I started using Rust-Oleum and actually got to answer that question. Like, what's a good, like cheap brand? But I think if you stick to like good, like $10, $12 spray paint, you should be fine. Like no matter what brand, like as long as you know what you're looking at. Like don't get like satin or gloss. Obviously, you'll destroy your minis. But it has to be matte. It has to be matte.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I forget where I heard this. I think it was on a YouTube painting tutorial. Like someone was saying that like satin paint actually can help if you use speed paint. It can actually like
really
help that speed paint kind of adhere better than
no way. I almost don't believe that. That would be neat. I mean, because satin just means half gloss. That's what that means. So
yeah,
maybe that would look kind of good. Who knows?
I couldn't. I don't have the language to articulate how or why it would be better. But I did, like, I actually have been using that for like the elites that I painted up for Flashpoint. I did with a satin blue a dark blue primer.
Really?
And they turned out really nice.
I'm surprised. I want to try that. That sounds interesting to me, because like the paint, how the paints work is kind of fun. Like that's fun to explore.
I think it would be that thing, like, you know, you want to make sure you pick a color that's gonna be a good like undercoat. Because I think myself, even as I say that, I remember some of my first forays into painting Mantic stuff. I had an elf army, a Mantic elf army, and I do recall getting like, I'm pretty sure it was a very dark green satin prime or like spray, and I use that. I'm like, this is super dark and green. And I messed up.
But you can build up. You can build up from there. It's just going to be really. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. Like, I've found that rattle cans, like especially the cheap ones, doing like a zenithal priming, I do not recommend on minis, because what I've been finding, at least when I do it, with the cheap stuff, is at least that the coating, the layers that you wind up putting on it do, remove a lot of that detail. They glomp up a little bit. It's not awful, but I have noticed noticeable. If I just do one primed layer for a mini, it works a lot better.
Yeah, don't dull them up. And that makes sense to me, because that's why the hobby stuff is nice, because it's thin. That's why that's
the point. That's why I was like, I bet that would work better for
the one-time go
if you don't have an airbrush.
Yeah.
If you got an airbrush, you're cheating.
Honestly, I have an airbrush. I've had it for years. I've never touched it. I want to, but I feel like I just need a better setup. Like I need like a way like where I'm not gonna be afraid if I spray it. You know what I mean? Like it's like being at the gun range. Like it's like, okay, like it's all good. Like it's one lane.
Yep.
It has to be a safe. Like I'm not gonna breathe this stuff in. It's got to be safe. And the thing about the going back to the rattle cans and stuff like that is it's the same principle. I'm comfortable with what I know I use. I know I'm not going to destroy the mini. Like if I go for it, I just stick with it. And honestly, I've kind of gotten out of using blacks, even though my salamanders I primed black just because I had it. But I feel like one color I started priming a lot with is off-white. So like bone color. Okay. Like, yeah, I feel like it brings out like you mentioned undercoats.
Yeah.
Like it brings out different kind of effects. Like it's cool. Like you can zenithal with that. Like do black and then an off-white. I feel like you get some different ideas going. It's really fun to experiment with different colors like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's something I'm trying to do more too. Like I typically do a black and a white, or a black and a gray, and but you can get so many more like variations, and so like my Force of the Abyss, I actually did with red, like a dark red.
Like you primed red.
Primed red. Yeah. Nice.
Well, yeah, it saves you time. Red,
And then I still, did dry brush over the top of that to kind of bring out some highlights.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back over. So, it's they're definitely fun to experiment with.
You know how old models, like this is like 90s, early 2000s, like black lining was kind of like the thing people did. So like it's kind of before like washes, I felt like were like huge.
Yeah.
But you would like black line. I kind of want to paint a mini, just one that's just like black lined like that. And I feel like that'd be kind of a fun throwback, like retro look on the model, like where it's just really hard shades versus like gradual shades that we all like these days. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's why I always hit everything with null and oil, because I'll be like getting those gradients in there, and I'm just like, no,
I just hit it with null and oil.
I just want that shadow to just
I'll just get it's just dramatically just better. It's just thanks for making my mini instantly better. Thank you, null and oil.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's a good wrap on the hobby section. Got to talk a little bit more technical as we might get.
No, it's
but
fun.
It's that little education element is something I always try to strive for to include in this section. So hope it was informative to folks. And if you have advice or suggestions to people on how to do a better job with priming, or how to select a good rattle can,
or school us on how satin is good for the minis, like Bryan just did,
or terrible for the minis, as the case may be. Feel free to reach out to us. Really like to engage with the community. As a closing note, we're still kind of in the early phases of Mantic kind of leaking little tidbits to us, but we do know there is a Summer of Sci-Fi on its way. And that is going to have a global campaign with it.
Of some kind.
I'm pretty sure it's happening late summer, is what I've heard. And I feel like that usually is what happens with Mantic's timeline. They'll say summer, and by that they mean like the end of August.
All right, that's all right.
But we will keep you posted as that kind of comes to fruition. We obviously, as we have in the past, will do our best to cover that event as it's happening. I hope last time people found it fun to see the ebbs and flows of the campaign as it transpired with the screenshots and stuff we did of the campaign website. And there's a heck of a lot of fun to be had participating in those and to cover the kind of story as it unfolds. So
yeah, that was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
So we'll likely be getting some epic Warpath in, as well as some Firefight and maybe even some Deadzone.
Hopefully.
And maybe some Dreadball on the side. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's all sci-fi. You just named it all.
Yep. So I think that's a good wrap. Again, thanks for tuning in. Please give us a like and a subscribe on all of our social medias if you've enjoyed what you've heard. And we'll be back next time with even more fun Warpath universe stuff.
See you in the future.
Whoa.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Stuff. I'm realizing I forgot to talk about that the annual Novak Dreadball Bowl happened.
Are you gonna do that?
My wife and I play a game of Dreadball like once a year on my birthday.
On the Super Bowl?
Not just on my birthday. So it landed in May, and so I was like, oh yeah, that happened this month.
Oh wait, your birthday was this month?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, happy birthday, man! You should have told me.
Thanks. It's all good.
I would have got you something cool, dude.
Well, we got together in game. That was
that's true. That was a good birthday bash.
That was the big part.
Yeah.